So I guess we'll start at the beginning.
Yeah.
I interviewed you.
You did interview me.
A while ago, can't remember now.
It was January 25, you interviewed me.
So
I
a
think,
year
so
ago.
that was, yeah.
So obviously that went well and you joined us in September.
Yes.
So why did you decide to get into engineering in the first place? What prompted you to?
Well, I really, really enjoyed doing applied mathematics, and I did actually start doing first year mathematics at uni. But then I kind of decided I also wanted to integrate my love of the environment, so then I went and looked up courses and discovered that civil and environmental was a degree that I could pursue, and here I am.
Yeah, a bit different for me. I picked my A-levels based on what I was interested in subject-wise, and engineering just kind of fell out of it when I looked through prospectuses when I wanted to go to university.
We both went to Cardiff, didn't we?
And we both went to Cardiff, which...
Cardiff alumni.
Yep, definitely. A few years difference in between, but yeah, I think I did an MEng, so mine was slightly different.
Yes.
Straight through.
Yeah.
No environmental, although first year there was a bit of environmental, but yeah, not quite as specific, I don't think, as when you did it. So,
no, probably not, no.
Yeah, so following on from that, why did you decide to join Burroughs?
I decided to join Burroughs because I wanted to go for quite a small company as a start off. I wanted to be kind of talking to clients quite early on and like getting to know schemes and projects, which is something that you definitely tend to only get with smaller like SME companies. And I wanted to know people outside of my team, so I could like lean on people that aren't just in infrastructure but might be in water, like yourself, or structures or highways. So,
yeah, I definitely agree with that, because when I first started, I moved into one of the bigger companies. Although I knew my team and got on well with them and could like ask them questions and everything, didn't really see the wider team as much, and it's a bit more of a corporate arrangement. It's not as friendly, and Burroughs is rather the opposite, a smaller company, very obviously we know family run, and I just found that really inviting with the smaller teams and being able to talk to everybody from all different levels. So yeah, I think I'm in agreement with that. It's nicer. So what do you enjoy most about working for Burroughs?
I enjoy the culture quite a lot. I like that it's quite laid back. I like that I can very much be myself. I don't have to kind of switch on a professional persona between now and home, which is quite nice. I've also made some quite good friends as well as like part-time colleagues and that. So yeah, I quite like that aspect of working in Burroughs. I also quite like the diverse range of projects that I've been on as well.
I think you're right though, because although it's a small company, you've got more chance of moving between disciplines and sectors and getting a more variety or varied selection of work and stuff. I mean, I've only ever worked on water, but that was because my job that I got straight out of uni was a water-based company, and I enjoyed what I was doing.
So I just stuck with it.
Didn't have much of a choice to change at that time. Could have when I moved to my next company, but by that point I was quite happy doing what I was doing in water and stuck with it. But I know there's obviously a lot of sectors within engineering, and I think one of the things that I'd say to anyone starting in the industry would be that engineering is very varied, even within civil, let alone mechanical or electrical, and it gives everyone an opportunity to work in a variety of different areas before deciding on what they want to do for the rest of their lives, if that's the way they want to do it. Some people are a generalist engineer and they work in all the areas. Some people are more specific and more individual and fall into their niche early on. But exactly, I would say that for anyone joining the industry, it's a great way to get a different involvement in different things early on in their career.
And it's good to get in a company like this, we get like the chance of doing quite a diverse portfolio of projects, which I know can definitely help with chartership.
Yes, definitely with chartership. There's a lot to get involved with, and some of the chartership stuff, like the commercial side, for example, working in a smaller company, you get exposed to that earlier on in your career, I would say, than you would do in a big corporate company, because you're still one tiny person in that setup, whereas here, like you said, it's easy to get involved and easy to ask as well. There's all the senior staff are more than happy to help and give you things to look at and get exposure to. So.
Exactly, and because of the culture as well, and I feel like I can talk to the associate directors quite easily if I need help, which you might not get in a larger company as well.
So what would you say to someone who's in choosing their A-levels now or something about going into engineering? Sorry, I put you on the spot there, sorry.
We didn't discuss this.
No, we didn't discuss this. No, it's more a case of, I guess, because I've been one of my questions was to say, what would you say to a youngster? And I mean, I would say, just go for it, do your research. Yeah. If you like maths and you like design, technology and those sorts of subjects, then and have a look and go for it. And
springboarding off my previous point, definitely do your checks, do your research, really kind of get to know yourself before you can form yourself to a box, because I was very much like, well, I want to go into maths, and it took me a year of maths undergrad to realise that I didn't actually want to go into maths. I wanted to do applied maths, and that's where I am now. And luckily I didn't, stick out the full 3 years. I decided to change after the first year, but definitely don't make the mistake that I made, because it cost me £9,000. So
sorry about that. But I think there's other ways of getting into the industry. There's the apprenticeships and the day releases and stuff. So you don't necessarily need to go to university to get into it.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you don't like studying, don't want to study anymore, then definitely look into the apprenticeship side of things and day release, and then you get paid for studying, which some people prefer. Yeah,
would have been nice to get paid to study.
It takes longer though.
It takes longer, but it's. I think it's nice as well, in a way, because I can't speak from an apprentice perspective, but I see some of the apprentices who have very much gained professional skills doing the apprenticeship, compared to me, who's having to learn the professional skills, hit the ground running now. So I suppose that's
it's definite bonus. You do, because you do get to see what the stuff you do in uni in theory, actually putting it into perspective and seeing it actually working in the...
Put teachings into practice, as they say. So.
Yes, exactly. And those sorts of things. I think the other, just another thing to discuss would be office-based versus site-based. From my perspective, I was never going to work on site long term. It didn't appeal. But I guess back when I started, it was very much a boys' workplace. So the appeal wasn't there as much as it possibly is now. I think there's a lot more women working on site and within the contractors. So again, I wouldn't say don't do it, give it a go, see. And it's definitely worth it for your chartership as well to get.
I think diversity is the key thing for chartership, is what of my understanding of it, my limited understanding of it.
Get a site experience, it's worth it. It goes back to getting something that you've done on paper into real world, and you see how...
Exactly. You mentioned earlier today, we'd get into design something and then actually going out to see it.
So I was able to do that with my chartership experience. I was able to design elements of a treatment works and then go outside and oversee the construction of it, so you can see how big it actually is when you see it on site. And then you come back into the office and you can do all the as-laid drawings and all the construction records and everything afterwards.
I imagine it felt immensely satisfying to watch it go up.
It is. It does make it sound. You can see the whole life of the project. It makes it.
And it feels real.
Yes, it feels real. Yes, you can see things in photos, but it's not quite the same as seeing it actually on site, which is my site. Getting on site as much as possible during your ordinary projects that you're working on now.
Exactly.
People are going to site, say I want to go with you, and go and see things. We try and get all the water engineers on site to see things and see what they've drawing and everything now, because it just sees a bit of perspective.
And it helps development.
Yes. Sign off those wonderful objectives. So I think, as I was saying earlier, I didn't start my chartership for the first 5 years of my career because it wasn't such a big thing in contractors at the time, and it wasn't pushed. So it wasn't until I started with a consultant that it was like, right, we're going to get you chartered. What are you?
Yeah.
Okay. So whereas here you are introduced to it as soon as you start with the graduate program and the internal process, and then gradually introduced to the actually ICE or whichever industry
and it's
accreditation you want.
I think it's like highly encouraged here as well, but no one is over your shoulder watching you do it, which I think is quite nice because chartership can be taken at completely your own pace.
Yeah, I think
is my interpretation of it.
That's true, and it's worth noting that you aren't pushed. You're guided on your chartership journey, but you're not pushed, and you're not in a negative or a positive way. You aren't prompted. If you don't do the work, then
that will be reflected.
It will be reflected, and you won't get anywhere. You won't be reminded that you've got to issue a quarterly report or a fill in an objective or whatever. It's got to come from the graduate.
Yeah.
But if there are any questions and you do need help, then everybody and anybody in the company will be happy to help. So.
We've got specific chartership mentors as well, don't we?
Yeah. It's not a case of you will never be dropped in at the deep end. When you start work, there will always be somebody either supervising you or on hand to ask questions, and it may feel quite daunting when you come out of uni and into a job and real life, but it's never going to be like that. And
especially in this environment, I was always frequently reminded by the higher ups that there are no silly questions, and so much prefer for it to be talked about internally and then issued externally, rather than not talked about internally and then issue something and then we have to go and clear it up afterwards.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely an open house inside. So no, it's definitely worth. That's an important part, I think. Don't be, if you're thinking it's any job, but if you're thinking that you're not going to know what you're doing when you get to work, then that's something you don't need to worry about. Engineering degree is very varied, and even if you start, I think most degrees start quite generally anyway. Even if I know when I don't know whether it's like it now, but when I started my first year, I was on the course with mechanical and electrical, civil and in architecture students for some of my courses. So you've got chance to move around and change, like you did, even change from maths to engineering. But
exactly.
Even just within engineering, you've got chance to change disciplines.
Exactly.
And even when you get to the workplace, you can do that. You can start off as a civil engineer and turn into a structural engineer, or even get a chance to do more of the mechanical stuff if you really want it. It's quite interesting. I was lucky to have exposure to that in my first job, so that's kind of, it's a nice background to have to understand.
I mean, now I feel a bit more settled in the company. I have had a chance to kind of think about where I would like my career to go. I think ideally once my graduate scheme is finished in the next year and a half now, I would ideally like to go on and just stay as an engineer, and hopefully within about 5 to 6 years go up to senior at some point. And then that's my 5-year plan covered, to be honest with you.
Including getting chartered?
Oh god, yeah, and getting chartered, I forgot about that.
Yes. But being chartered, it's not only good, obviously it's beneficial because you can be paid more, but you can also be charged out more to clients, and the company gains benefits from you being chartered because they can charge you out more, and they can, you're there for the new graduates coming in to ask questions and stuff, so there's a continuation or continuity flow with that as well. So no, I can see that's a good 5-year plan. Not going too crazy. But it's difficult when you get further up the chain to know
to know
really
where,
what you do.
where it is
And
you're going.
I did actually get asked it in my last appraisal, because originally it's like the structure in Burroughs is quite a tight one. So you go from senior, principal engineer didn't exist when I started anyway.
Oh, did you join as a senior?
I came from my last company as a principal, but they didn't have principal role here, so I came as a senior. And I didn't get promoted to principal until last January. But basically, from principal onwards, there was literally only associate director. But you get the opportunities like I have had and have wanted. It's a bit more people management, but more program project management. So you get to do a shift, but you're still in contact with all the technical stuff, and you're still overseeing the technical, which is what I do a bit more of here.
Yeah.
So I can see myself doing that and just helping expand the team, and we've expanded the client portfolio, so next step is expanding the team.
Yeah, well, if you wanted to poach me at any point in time, we have Kelly and Ellie on the team, that'd be great.
You were